Welcome into your WWE NXT review for the show from April 22nd, 2015. I am your host, the Vigilante Mario. You guys may notice that I'm here by myself right now, and that is because I am by myself here right now for this video only. I'm usually not the host, and I'm usually not, the most vocal guy here. But for this video only, I'm gonna host and just talk to you guys about NXT this week. So let's just get right down to it. Not waste anybody's time. So the show started out with the match between Finn Balor and against Ty Dillinger. I think they gave him like 4 to 5 minutes in that match. It wasn't a squash match to say, but it wasn't like a competitive match between the two. Finn wins the first lockup and drops him with the running dropkick, but runs into a hard elbow from Dillinger. And Dillinger just goes to work, beats him up for a while, for a couple minutes or so, and Finn comes back with the Pele kick, which I think AJ Styles threw a lot better. Well, throws a lot better. I'm sorry, he still throws it, but Balor's Pele kick is still pretty good. And after the Pele kick, he hit him with the sling blade, which is some I don't know how to describe it. It's just some sort of neck breaker of some sort. And then he connects with the corner drop kick and hits a double foot stomp from the top rope for the easy win. Like I said, it was a 45-minute match. Not too much to say about it. Just trying to. I guess I just put Balor out there just for the taping, because no matter what, fans want to see Finn Balor in a match or just in general out there. Just see him, because fans love Finn Balor, and I'm one of those fans that love Finn Balor. I'm a pretty big supporter of Finn Balor, so I hope he doesn't, go on this run of just short matches with random jobbers. But that instantly changed because as he was walking up the ramp towards the back, Tyler Breeze shows up on the monitor, and he just cuts a promo calling Fat Balor the flavor of the month, where he's been dominating the NXT landscape since the start. And this is basically just in a way setting up a feud between Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor. And I'm not gonna complain about that feud because I think you will get really good matches out of it. Like Hideo Itami and Tyler Breeze did. They had great matches. So hopefully they do this with Finn Balor as well. Sure, I don't like Tyler Breeze's character at all, but the guy can go in the ring. I enjoy his in-ring work, and I enjoy Finn Balor's in-ring work. So that'll be a decent little feud going on in NXT for the next couple of months or so. And after the Tyler Breeze promo backstage, they cut to a Dana Brooke promo backstage. And she pretty much just said that her debut wasn't really her debut. It was the rebirth of the NXT Women's Division, which it could be debated that, she isn't the best wrestler out there in NXT, from last week's performance that she had. I wasn't impressed by what she did in the ring. But, I mean, it was her first match, so I'll cut her some slack. But if she continues to, just not put out any good matches, and I'm not gonna support it. So yeah, she basically just said that, and she calls NXT her playground and says that playtime is over. So there you have it. A decent promo from Dana Brooke. Then after that backstage promo, they cut to a Kevin Owens backstage promo, and he gives Alex Riley credit for giving him a good fight a few weeks back, but he won the match, and tonight really isn't going to be any different. He tells Riley to get a clue. It was an okay promo from Kevin Owens. I've seen him cut way better promos in the indie scene. I am not a big indie watcher, but once I heard that he was signed with the WWE, I looked for some videos of his on YouTube. I saw a couple matches here and there and some promos. And, his promos right now aren't really that great, but they're not terrible either. So I'm not going to complain about that. And then right after that promo, we get women's triple threat match for the number one contender spot for the NXT Women's Championship between Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. Okay, so basically the two baby faces go to work on Lynch and clear her from the ring. Then lock up with each other. Sorry, and Charlotte controls Bayley and puts her in the figure four headlock, doing these amazing roll through slams and whatnot. Which Charlotte is just amazing in that ring, and Bayley is decent herself, and so is Becky Lynch. And after the roll through slams, Lynch gets back into the ring and hits a suplex as they go to commercial. And these commercials aren't even that long. They're not like 2 to 3 minutes long. They're just maybe 1 or 2 ads, like 10-second ads. So you don't really have to wait that much in the commercial time. So that's good, because on Raw, they start a match and they like, lock up, and then one of them gets knocked out of the ring, and they go to commercial in like the first minute or so, and the commercials are like 3 to 4 minutes. So this way, sure, it was in the middle of a match, but it's not a long commercial, so I'm not gonna complain about it because they have to put commercials in there and whatnot. So I mean, if I had just one thing to complain about, it would be that it was during the match, but then again, it was a short commercial, so I'm fine with that. And then Charlotte is down on the outside of the ring, as we come back from commercial, as Bayley and Lynch go to work with a great technical exchange in the ring. Bayley's about to tap to some sort of submission hold Becky Lynch had. I don't know what to call it. If you guys can comment that move in the comment section and let me know what it's called, because I've never seen that move before. So I don't know what to call it. So where was I? So Bayley's about to tap, but Charlotte comes back and hits a natural selection to break it up. Like Becky Lynch has it locked in on Bayley, and it's kind of, she is seated like a sharpshooter kind of position. So Charlotte just came in and hit her natural selection finisher, and she pins her, but Bayley breaks up the pinfall. So everybody's down right now. And then we get a slow exchange as it builds towards the top rope spot, which has Charlotte grab Becky Lynch in a powerbomb position, as like she's gonna give the powerbomb, but Bayley's still in the top rope. So she jumps out at Becky Lynch and hits her with kind of a diving European uppercut, and knocks her down from Charlotte's shoulders, which is a pretty cool spot, to be honest with you. We don't see that many spots in women's wrestling that much, except maybe in TNA. TNA has a short women's locker room, but they can still go in the ring. TNA has some incredible knockouts matches, but so does NXT. So we get that high spot, and I'm sorry. Then Charlotte puts Bayley in a figure 8 hold lock, which is like the figure 4, but Charlotte bridges as she's doing the figure 4, and they call it the figure 8 hold because it's twice as better as Ric Flair's figure 4. So I mean, I guess, I don't know. But Lynch pins Bayley while she doesn't have the positioning to kick out. Like Bayley is on the mat in the figure 4, and Becky Lynch just kind of crawls over and puts her arm on top of her and pins her. And it was an odd spot, because you could obviously tell that Bayley could have kicked out, and she kind of did. If you go back and watch that pinfall, she kind of moves her shoulders a little bit, and it looked like she kicked out. She might have kicked out, but I guess either they went for that to protect Bayley or something like that, or they just fucked up. So your winner and new number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship, Becky Lynch. And I'll be looking forward to that match. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks can go in the ring. So it's not going to be a 5 out of 5 star match, but it'll be a decent 4 for sure. So after that match, we get a Hideo Itami versus CJ Parker match. And just like the Finn Balor match earlier, it lasted like 4 to 5 minutes. So they lock up, and Parker begs off into the ropes, heel tactics. Tommy gives him a come at me taunt, like, well, I don't know how to describe it, but, just telling him to come at him. Um, and they lock up again, with Parker begging off again into the ropes. This time, Tommy cuts him down with kicks and strikes until Parker yet again gets into the ropes and drops him with a cutter. A pretty decent looking cutter, actually. CJ goes to work with the rest with the rest holds, of course. You know how they on Raw, whenever they go to commercial and they come back, somebody's in the rest hold all the time. So it's basically that. And with the rest holds, he brings them down. He brings down the pace for a few minutes. Hideo builds it up with kicks and chops and arm drags. Really nice and crisp arm drags too. They weren't sloppy or anything. They were really, really nice. And he hits a hesitation drop kick in the corner, followed by the Nakamura-esque one-legged kick to pick up the win. I hope I pronounced that right. I typed this whole review down on paper, and I looked up the name of that move, and that's what it showed up as, the Nakamura-esque one-legged kick, and that gives Hideo Itami the win. And no, we did not see the GTS from Hideo, but I think they're going to save that for maybe a title match, maybe in NXT, or when he comes up to the main roster, with making it even more special whenever he hits that move. But obviously he has hit it before in NXT, but it wasn't taped for TV or for the network. It was at a house show, and he did it on Tyler Breeze. And he does it a lot stiffer than CM Punk did. CM Punk just kind of lifted his knee up, but Hideo just like drops him on his knee, which makes it look a lot better. So just hopefully we get to see that GTS from Hideo Itami sooner rather than later. So after that match, we cut to a backstage segment, with Sasha Banks making fun of Becky Lynch and tells her that she doesn't have a chance at winning the women's championship. She makes fun of her accent, and Lynch calls herself kind of a big deal. And Becky Lynch is kind of a big deal. Not a lot of people overlook her in NXT because of all the other women's wrestlers there. Like Charlotte and Sasha Banks and the Baileys of the world, but Becky Lynch can go in the ring. I really like her work, and she cuts a good promo. So she's all right by me. So after that, we get a Rhino match versus some jobber. Sorry. They had cut to a commercial break after the Sasha Banks segment with Becky Lynch. And they come back, and Rhino is already in mid-entrance and joins an unannounced wrestler already in the ring. The match lasts about 30 seconds and ends with the gore, of course. I didn't even realize it was a match, because it just happened so fast. But it was just a squash match for Rhino, and we got some really loud welcome back chants, which he's been back for a couple of weeks now. But the whole segment overall lasted like 90 seconds. So there's not much to say about that other than it was a squash match for Rhino. And now we get to the main event of the show, which was Kevin Owens versus Alex Riley. Probably a vision of things. Probably a vision of things to come. Sorry. Owens won the highly entertaining Twitter feud between the two. Of course, I don't know if you guys followed that on Twitter. According to a WrestleZone user poll last week, it wasn't even close. The score was 81-19. So they've been having this little mini feud on Twitter and NXT. And, it's decent. It's nothing too crazy, but it's entertaining for the most part. So let's get to the match. Kevin taunts his opponent and bails from the ring, like he usually does in every match. Baiting Alex Riley with the crash and burn on the entrance ramp, where Alex Riley kind of goes for a baseball slide to Owens outside the ring, but Owens grabs him from the hair and pulls him down and drops him on the steel ramp. it was a pretty decent spot, you know. Alex Riley took that like a champ. After a short break, Owens is beating him down and gets in his face, mocking him, and Riley slaps him in the face for his only offense of the match. The champ is back in control with the power moves and rest holds for the next few minutes. Riley out of nowhere with a clothesline and a snap neck breaker. Pretty decent neck breaker, to be honest with you. He goes to the top rope and Owens crotches him, and that's followed by a cannonball into the corner, followed by the pop-up powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. So your winner, the NXT champion, Kevin Owens, in a rather short match. You know, I kind of wanted to see them go at it for a while because I know Alex Riley can go in that ring, and so can Kevin Owens. So I just wanted to see it, you know, a good match between the two. But you know, it is what it is. Had to keep Kevin Owens strong for his next match with, I guess it will be Sami Zayn. Because after the match, Owens drags Riley out to the floor, and sets up for the powerbomb on the apron that he hit on Sami Zayn and Andrew Neville a couple months back. Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere and attacks the champ, followed by a herd of zebras to break them up. You know, meaning referees. Zebras meaning referees. The crowd chants, "Let them fight," you know, because it's probably the most exciting part of the show. And as Zayn gets into the ring and taunts Owens. Before flying over the ropes and taking down the entire pile of guys, Owens crawls up the side entrance and retreats to the back as Sami taunts him from the ring. And that dive off the top rope to half the roster and the referees and Owens was just awesome. You know, it wasn't like on the ramp. It was like in the corner, you know. So it was a pretty tight spot. But, you know, you got it done, you know. Looked awesome. Sami Zayn is a man. Kevin Owens is a man. And I am looking forward to the rematch. They haven't announced when it will be, but as opposed to the next NXT special. But, you know, I'll be paying $9.99 for that, for sure. As well as the Extreme Rules pay-per-view this Sunday. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up the show. That's pretty much everything that went on in the show today. I mean, not today, but last night. For this week. And, you know, I'll probably be back next week doing another NXT review. I don't know if they're going to let me do these reviews by myself, you know, since I'm like the first one to watch them. And I did one last night, right after NXT ended, but it was pretty bad. So I just deleted it and decided to just do it today because it was kind of late and I was kind of tired. So I just took that out, and, you know, now I did this one, and, you know, hopefully this one was better than the last one. But yeah, we should be back on Sunday for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view review. If Paul and Piero still can't come on here, then I'll just come on here by myself and review it for you guys. And then we might be back, all three of us back together on Monday for the Raw review, if it's, you know, a good Raw, because we don't really like wasting our time reviewing a terrible show like it's been for the last couple of weeks, so that's why we haven't really been doing any videos, because we haven't seen that much news out there or any good shows or anything like that. But NXT for sure will be a weekly show. If it's not all three of us doing it, then I will be the one doing it. So look forward to that next week, maybe after NXT goes off the air or on Thursday. So keep your eye out for that. And, you know, while you're at it, you know, just like the video, comment on the video, tell me what you thought about the video itself and about NXT. Was it a good show or was it not a good show? I thought it was a good show. I'm going to give them like a 7 out of 10, you know, just because I love NXT. I never miss the show. And, you know, it's the most enjoyable part of the company right now, is NXT. So, with that being said, again, like the video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, go follow our page on Twitter at Project Pipebomb, go follow me on Twitter at Golden Eagle 0462, and, you know, while you're at it, go follow Paul Jaser as well. at the Arabian Wolf himself. So, from us here at Project Pipebomb, I am the Vigilante Mario, and thank you for sticking around and watching the video with me. Well, not watching the video, but sticking around to watch the video. So, all right, I'll catch you guys next week.